Residents also telling me the fire was so hot that it actually scorched surrounding trees. And take a look at these cars. They're about 15 to 20 feet away from the building, and the heat melted the tail end of this Jeep. Divers this morning recovered all bodies from the lake. That total death count, 17, as you mentioned. Now that duck boat's still underwater at this time. In fact, crews are gearing up to recover it from the lake later on today. Several days ago, you couldn't even see this river wall over here. That's because this entire area was completely underwater. And to give you an idea of just how high it got, you can see this debris at the top of this fence. All of that water just flowing down into this ditch. And I don't know if you guys can hear, just the force of this water, but it is absolutely incredible. And you can kind of see where there's a barbed wire fence, that water going up to the top of it. Police believe the suspect fled in a dark-colored sports-style car. It was seen driving rather fast down this street last Friday early in the morning. Go ahead and pan over and show you just what's going on down there. You can see one semi partially off the roadway and in that ditch over there. Now this is of course having a major impact on traffic. Earlier today we were watching as investigators were combing through the Cogswell's home, just going through the house, looking for any evidence, any way that they can piece together just what exactly happened between the couple. And all it took was one quick storm to just blow through this area, knocking down several trees. The one behind me you can see actually split in half when it fell down. And go ahead and take a look. I want to show you the other half of that tree landing on this woman's home. And hey, now y'all will have a really cool story to tell.
We will.
Coach Rogers has been coaching for more than 50 years. He has trained famous boxers like Jermaine Taylor. This whole building is filled with precious memories, and unfortunately some of them got damaged in the flood.
Heartsick. I lost a lot of memories. Yeah.
This building has been a second home to Coach Ray Rogers for over 30 years.
Oh, this guy right here. I'm the only person that was in his corner all 39 bouts.
It's more than just a training gym, it's a museum. In it, Coach Rogers has trained thousands of boxers.
We've helped a lot of youngsters in this gym, and we will continue to do that.
Now it's back to square one, but Rogers is holding on to hope.
It'll be all right. It's just, it's a shock. I mean, it's just a total shock.
He doesn't teach you how to win, he teaches you how to take defeat.
Christian Guajardo has known Coach Rogers his entire life. His father, Fire Captain Alex Guajardo, was a Golden Glove boxer under Rogers.
He's been there for all the Guajardos since forever.
The Guajardos are now helping the man they call family.
Whatever it is that you're doing, one more round. And I think, that's the staple that he's done for all of us.
Even with the losses, Coach Rogers feels blessed.
Oh, feels great. Feels great. Me and the Guajardo boys go back over 50 years. Over 50 years. And they haven't forgotten where they came from.
And Coach Rogers' motto is clean up and keep going. He plans to keep this building so he can continue making memories, but most of all, helping children. A parent should never have to bury their own child, but that's what Aaron Rainey did just last week.
That was my only son, and the day I met him was absolutely the best day of my life. And that was my best friend.
2.5 short years is all Aaron had with Remington Rainey, and now all he's left with are the memories. Aaron says things took a turn for the worse when Remington's mother, Emily Markham, started seeing and moved in with Chase Mullins. Rainey, who was working on getting joint custody of Remington, had him every other weekend. But when it was time to go back home with Markham and Mullins, Aaron and his father, Tim Rainey, say the child resisted.
The baby knew, but it was like nobody was listening.
Rainey also noticed cuts and bruises on his son. He'd ask Markham about the injuries, but she chalked it up to Remington being clumsy, even going as far as posting about it on Facebook. The Raineys say Mullins was to blame for the injury.
The things that he said about that baby, and he wasn't under the influence.
Aaron and Tim tried desperately to prove Remington was being abused.
Your hands are tied, I mean, you go to our attorney, we went and we would show pictures, And they'd say, well, you know, the mother has all the rights.
And just 4 days after Remington's death, Markham filed for an order of protection against Mullins. In it, Markham alleges on November 29th, the day Remington was killed, Mullins threw her to the ground, was verbally abusive to the toddler, and threatened to kill Markham.
The system failed, I mean, for the worst. Because if it didn't fail, he would still be here today.
All is well today in Crossett. Shay Dismuke holding Gambit tight in her arms as she looks at the building she called home for the past 8 years. But on the night of January 2nd, everything changed when Shay and her husband were woken up by Gambit's barking.
When we opened our bedroom door up, the whole living room was already engulfed.
In a daze, the couple managed to escape out of the home through the bedroom window.
He saved my life and my husband's life. He's our blessing.
But once the Dismukes were safely outside, a second wave of fear hit them. Their tiny 1-year-old Chiweenie dog was nowhere to be seen.
Sheriff's Department got here, they called, and he wouldn't come out, so we just knew he was gone.
But it wasn't until volunteer firefighter Captain Jason Wilkins and his crew were going through the house when they heard tiny whimpering from below a bed.
I got him, he was unconscious, not moving or anything, so I tried to protect him with the gear.
The crew carried the pup outside to safety, where others resuscitated Gambit and gave him oxygen and CPR.
A lot of times situations don't turn out that good, so it makes us feel good when we can all be a part of something like that.
The firefighters feeling fulfilled as much as Gambit's family is grateful for a second chance at life.
They rock. They really do.
We don't get paid for this.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, all of you must really, like you want to be here.
Yes, ma'am. We do it because we love it.